Welcome to the Mastering Business Skills podcast, where we interview successful small business owners who share their own journey, mastering the skills they needed to grow and be successful in their business. Learn the struggles, the wins, and all the things they learned along the way, so you can cut down on your own learning curve.
Hi, welcome to Mastering Business Skills. On today's show, we're talking to Monika Jansen. Monika is head kick-ass copywriter and strategist at her content marketing agency, Jansen Communications. She has more than 16 years of experience helping companies grow by generating leads. Specifically, she does this by creating the right messages for the right people on the right channels at the right time. Her agency's services include blogging, email marketing, website content, social media marketing, and marketing copy for things like presentations and white papers, all the stuff you need for generating leads. Monika is also one of the co-creators of the Ultimate Lead Nurturing and Sales Conversion Guide, which provides tips and templates on how to build relationships through lead nurturing so you close more sales and gain more clients or customers. She also holds monthly Ask Monika Anything About Marketing sessions. And when she's not working with clients, she can be found in her beloved adopted state of Colorado, hiking, snowboarding, going to concerts, walking the dog, and hanging out with family and friends. Welcome to the show, Monika.
Thanks so much for having me, Erin and Sharon.
Absolutely. So I want to start off by having you tell us a little bit about what you do and what inspired you to start your business.
So I'm a copywriter by trade. So when people ask me what I do, I usually lead with that. But it's not copyright law. It's like writing words for marketing purposes. Those get confused more than you might think. What inspired me to start? What inspired me to start my business is basically I didn't want to work for anyone else. I wanted to have a lot of flexibility. So my kids were little. This is a very common theme, among small business owners, especially women-led businesses. Little kids needed flexibility, and I had no idea what I was doing. I was very naive, and I was like, I'm just going to hang out my shingle as a copywriter. I had marketing experience, and I knew I was really good specifically at telling messages very clearly and very concisely.
Okay, nice. So what were the most important skills that you needed when you started your business, and how did you acquire those skills? Was it formal education, self-teaching, mentorship, trial and error?
Yeah, all of the above. I was highly motivated to succeed. And because I didn't really know what I was doing, and I'd started other businesses before, but this felt different. This felt like it was going to be bigger and longer lasting, if that makes sense. I just first focused on meeting as many people as I could. I just went out networking. I learned very quickly what not to do when networking. And just started building my network and building, getting clients and building word of mouth. So those were the skills, really, other than my, technical skills of, understanding marketing and copywriting. Those were really the skills that helped me launch Jansen Communications. I never had a mentor, so I always try to serve as a mentor to other people, whether it's just in a quick conversation or more of a formal mentorship program. But a lot of it really trial and error. And, I think that's, again, true for a lot of small business owners. You try something, it doesn't work. Oh, well, you try something else. You learn from your mistakes and you keep on going.
Oh, yeah. I know I had that same experience. I'm sure Sharon did too, where you just,
yeah.
I think I started similar to you, actually, Monika, where, my kids were little, they needed me home, and I was like, what can I do from home? So, yep, right. I completely got that whole journey that you took.
Yeah, me too. Same here. I took the same journey. So I'm curious, in looking back, what skills do you wish maybe you'd learned sooner? Are there any?
Oh, yeah. Project management. Management, it doesn't come naturally to most people. I think anyone. And That's why you see people very proudly showing off that they are PMPs. They're a project management professional. They have gone through a lot of training to learn how to do project management. I'm very organized, but project management helped me keep seeing like a few steps ahead to make sure projects always stayed on track. Nothing got dropped. I'm working on a massive marketing project right now. It's experiential. So that means there's a thing and there's going to be events around this thing. And it's a little outside of my wheelhouse, but it's fun and it's challenging. And there are so many moving pieces. If I did not have a firm handle on project management, this would be a disaster. My client would probably fire me. And then the other thing I wish I had more knowledge about and more comfort with is accounting and bookkeeping.
Mhm. Good point. Yeah.
So you can take these classes in college, if you're a business major, you might take them, but until you're doing it's abstract until you're doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
So I wish I had known more just about properly recording transactions, keeping things organized the proper way to pay yourself as a small business owner. There's like a lot of legal consideration.
Oh, yeah.
Right? When it comes to money that I didn't understand. And my first accountant, God bless her, she really treated me like her third daughter and, put up with a lot of ridiculousness, but did her best to keep me in line. She taught me so much. So I guess, you know what, you could consider Robin Gordon. I'm going to give her a shout out, a wonderful human. I could consider her a mentor when it comes to accounting.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. I got lucky. My dad was a CPA, so from a very young age, I learned that stuff whether I wanted to or not, and I'm very thankful now that I did because it made a big difference.
Definitely. Oh yeah, my dad is long retired engineer at IBM. I knew he didn't drive choo-choo trains, like I knew he didn't work on a train.
Right.
I didn't know for a long time what he did. I learned a lot from him. Like I can fix things and I can problem solve very quickly because, like you, Sharon, I grew up, watching my dad do these things.
Right. That makes a difference.
Tell us a little bit about your monthly Ask Monika Anything about marketing. Does anybody ever ask you anything in general, not just about marketing, or do they throw in any other good questions?
No. People are really good about sticking to marketing, which is good because if they asked me a question about plumbing, I wouldn't be able to answer it. So, no, they don't ask me general business questions. So every month, I take 4 hot seat questions that participants submit. It can be on anything marketing related, but it's something specific that they're struggling with. They don't know how to do it. They don't know if they're doing it right. And so I really get to tailor my advice to their specific situation. And we're doing this live. So there's a lot of back and forth, and other, people will start asking follow-up questions. We get really interesting discussions going. And then there's always a discussion theme for the last like 15 or 20 minutes. So we've talked about social media marketing. We've talked about email marketing. So what I'll do is just like go through like some best practices and then again, back and forth discussion. So participants really get a lot out of it. There's a lot of very specific, concrete advice being shared that is actionable that they can start doing immediately. And I share all of the notes and all of the advice, all the tips, strategies, whatever, after the AMA ends. So they have it in writing.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I need to jump on one of those because I get so much value. Like, Sharon, I don't know if you've seen any of Monika's blogs or LinkedIn posts, but she puts so much value in everything that I'm always like, I'll click on her LinkedIn and then click to her blog and back and forth. So yeah, she has a lot of really, really cool stuff.
Thank you, Erin. I appreciate that. I try.
Yeah. So if you could give one piece of advice to someone that's just starting a business, maybe they have no prior experience, what would it be?
Find a mentor. But a mentor is going to make everything so much easier. No more second guessing. I know the SBA, Small Business Administration, at least they used to have like drop-in office hours at their offices where you are paired with someone who has been in business before. Any kind of opportunity to work with someone who has the experience is your business is going to get off the ground faster, and it's going to grow faster.
That's great advice. Yeah, I didn't even know that they did that. I wish I'd known that. When I started 30 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
There's more resources, I think, like very specific resources like that, where you can get tailored advice to you that are free, than I think we know about. So, to anyone listening to this, look to see what your county or state or the SBA has to offer.
That's great. That's great.
And Monika, since you and I know each other, so I know that you have an amazing work-life balance in your business, and and being able to do the things that you love still. So I know you work 4 days a week and take Friday through Sunday to do the hobbies and the things that you love doing. Tell us more about how that came about and how you're able to put those boundaries in place. Was it difficult to do? Did you struggle with it at all? Or was it just like, nope, this is what I'm going to do, and you did it?
Well, yes, this is what I'm going to do, and I did it. But there's a couple important factors in there. I'm not a workaholic. And I mentioned my dad before. My dad was not a workaholic. He enjoyed his work, but his life was outside of work. So I grew up in that kind of environment. I'm not a perfectionist. I don't believe in perfection. There's no perfection in nature, and definitely not in humans. So having that kind of mindset is very helpful for drawing really strict boundaries around my work life and what I do. I don't check email on the weekends. I don't check email after hours. If a client texts me after hours or on the weekend, I always respond. That rarely happens. Everyone's very respectful that I don't work on Fridays, and there's a lot of jokes about it. So how the 4-day week came about, it wasn't like I woke up one day and I was like, I'm just going to work 4 days a week. It was gradual. So copywriting, like a lot of creative professions, takes a lot of brain power. So what I was finding that by Friday morning, I could only do a couple small, easy client projects. And then the rest of the day, I was just kind of finding easy stuff to do, cleaning out files, digital and paper, organizing things. I wasn't being productive anymore. And I'm like, why am I chaining myself to my computer like this for no reason? Well, it's societal conditioning, obviously. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to be I'll consolidate everything into 4 days, which I basically already have been naturally doing. So that's how the 4-day work week came about. And we moved to Colorado 4 years ago, specifically so I could snowboard more. Well, there's other reasons. And I go hiking all the time. I think it's so important for people to have fun, whatever fun means to them. Fun can be, reading 5 books a week. I just think for your mental health, you need to have fun.
Yeah. I love that you put that in place too, because I am the complete opposite. I am the workaholic, and I have to put those boundaries in place. And I still sometimes like overstep my own boundaries. I'll be like, no, I'm not working, and I'm still working on the, in the background.
I'm guilty of that too.
Things. Yeah.
You do that too, Sharon.
The nights, the weekends, all of that. So yeah. I have to learn from you in that aspect of
me too.
Big work fun. But like you said, it is, I feel like it is societal norms that, you're supposed to be at your desk and behind, on your computer from, whatever, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. or whatever time people think is normal. And it did take me a lot to take that step back and stop working nights and stop working weekends. And
it's also okay to take a break in the middle of the day. So yesterday I went hiking in the middle of the afternoon with my friend, and I came back and it was great. Like, I was not in front of the computer for about an hour and a half, and I came back and got a couple more hours worth of work in. So even if you have more to do, give yourself that break so your brain can just reset, because you're going to be so much more productive when you come back.
Yeah.
I agree. I learned that kind of the hard way. And I'm slowly trying to make sure that I incorporate that into my life now, because you can get burnt out so quickly and so easily. And in my case, I didn't know what a toll it was taking on my body. And it was like, wow, okay, so I got to make some changes. I'm not there as to where I'm not checking my emails on the weekends, but I'm getting better about it. So so kudos to you for being able to do that.
Thank you.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
No, nothing in life is easy. We're all constantly learning and evolving and making mistakes, and we just keep on going.
Yeah, very true. So in evolving, how do you continue to be learning and improving as a business owner? What steps do you take?
I read, other people's blogs, watch. No, I don't really watch a lot of videos. You know what happens when I go onto YouTube? I just start watching SNL clips. So I can't go onto YouTube. I have no boundaries around YouTube. No, I do a lot of reading. I learn a lot from other business owners. I love talking to other business owners. I love talking to other marketers and other copywriters. I don't know everything. They don't know everything, but they know things I don't know, and vice versa. And so I'm just constantly learning from other people. And not like, I'm not talking about learning huge concepts. Just like, for example, I learned from a friend a couple months ago that you really have to use hashtags on LinkedIn, because when you post on LinkedIn, including 3 to 5 hashtags actually makes your post more visible in the feed. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm constantly learning all these little tips and tricks, and sometimes big ideas.
Nice. So, as far as success, what does that mean to you, and has your definition of it changed at all over the years that you've been in business?
So when I started out, I had no idea what I was doing. I did not have a roadmap. I did not have a plan. I just wanted to do something creative, something that used my talents and make some money. So my goals not now, like what makes me successful, is being able to have that work-life balance and bringing in the revenue and therefore the income that I want to make every single month.
Awesome.
That's as simple as that. Check.
Right.
I don't get any more detailed or complex than that.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes success, we tend to look at it as what other people think it is, rather than, and it's different for each person and each, what your situation is or how you want your life to be or your business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I very much, my business is built around my lifestyle.
That's awesome. I think success is, like Erin said, it's different to each one of us. What I consider my successes, not going to be hers, not going to be yours, not going to be anybody's. And yeah, I think sometimes people think, well, success looks like this for everybody.
Yeah. Success means,
the case.
Right, I move up, I'm in the C-suite. Success means I am in the media, I'm getting interviewed. Success means I am going to work super hard for 5 years and sell my business and retire.
Have $1 million business, or
that's all wonderful. That's perfect. You do what is successful to you.
Yeah, exactly. So is there any kind of personal habit or daily practice that has contributed to your success and your lifestyle? I mean, I hear people all the time saying, okay, you need to set 3 intentions for today. Make one of them, what's going to bring you the most joy. And it's like, do people really do that? I mean, I guess they do to a point. It's not something I do, but I keep seeing that more and more.
No, I don't set. I mean, I think it's important to be intentional in your overall actions and behavior, but I don't, that's getting very micro.
Yeah.
And I don't tend to do that. I don't go down into the weeds like that, but I'm also not up in the clouds just looking at the big picture all the time. I tend to be in the middle, I guess, looking at the treetops. But one thing that is very, very important to me that I do every day is I live by Asana, which is a task management tool that most people are probably, familiar with. That is my, for lack of a better word, it's the Bible by which my work life rotates around. It's got links to client information, documents in there, and tasks. So it keeps me on track. And when all of my tasks are checked off for the day, my work day is done.
Good for you.
I don't go looking for other stuff to do. Now I might look at like the next couple days, is there anything else, that I could do now? And if I'm like, no, those other days are balanced as well, I'll be able to get everything done. Then yeah, I go out and do stuff or play with the dogs or sit down and read.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds like heaven.
And do you put those tasks, like, do you look at your week ahead and put those all in by day for the week, or how do you usually organize that?
So Asana isn't good at showing you. They've kind of changed. I don't know if there's a way that I can customize this actually, but they've changed the future look of tasks. So now everything is just mushed together for next week. Right. And it'll go Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, because I have recurring stuff, by date, not by day of the week. And so that's not helpful. So I really would like to figure out how to fix that. But no, I just move things around based on priority if I need to. So it's really like on Monday, once I get like halfway through the day, then I'll go back and I'll look at everything else that I have to do that week and shuffle things around as needed. Yeah. Oh, and one thing that I do that is a helpful daily habit for me. I don't know if you guys have heard the expression, like, eat the frog. It's so gross. Like, who wants to eat a frog? But it means focusing on the biggest tasks on your plate and getting those done first, and then you do everything else. I can't work like that because all the little tasks to me are clutter and they only take a couple minutes, and I want to just get those out of the way quickly. Then I have a clear, like, brain space in a way that I can focus on the bigger tasks. So just because someone suggests to you to do it that way, if it doesn't work for you, figure out what it does, what does work for you. Do that. Who cares what other people advise?
Yeah, it's your business.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't work like that either. I have to do the small things first, the things that I know are going to be quick and easy, because I feel the most sense of accomplishment when I do that. And I'm like, okay, I had this much to do today, and now I'm down to this. Yay me, so.
Yeah, same. This is why, like, making your bed first thing in the morning, brushing your teeth, like doing all, you're doing all these small tasks, but it's getting all of these little things done to give you a sense of accomplishment and more energy and motivation to, do all the big things, like go grocery, go to Costco.
Yeah. So tell us, this will be actually our last question for you. So what is next for your business, and what new skills are you excited to learn, or are you learning anything new right now that you want to share?
I'm always learning about search engine optimization because it's constantly changing and it affects what I do as a copywriter. And search is about to change fundamentally, where we're not putting in a query and just getting a ton of information, right? That's already started to change with ChatGPT. We give it a question and then it scours the internet for us instead of just giving us resources. That's evolving to having almost a client giving you what you need based on what's going on in your day. So you're not even going to be asking a search engine to do anything for you. It is going to be doing it for you proactively. This is going to be a massive game changer. Massive. And we already see that we're already used to this in certain situations, right? So you buy something, let's say on Amazon or from whatever, online retailer, and they'll be like, people who bought these things also bought these, right? So that is going to be happening more and more and in different situations. So I find that fascinating and I'm trying to learn more about that. What's next for my business? I don't know. I'm happy with it the way it is. I at one point was really growing my team. This is pre-COVID of contractors. I shrunk it down during COVID, and I just really like where it is right now. So what's next is just keep on keeping on.
That's the best thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. And we're going to share your link to the Ask Monika Anything in the show notes so that hopefully you get lots of people asking you all kinds of questions.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I can also, if it's okay with you, I can also share your LinkedIn profile as well in the show notes so that people can check out your posts and your blogs and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love that.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And for
Thank
everybody
you.
listening, we hope you tune in next time.
Thank you.